Morning to everyone. In this lesson, we're going to study about control and coordination, structure of neuron, synapse, reflexive actions. Working together of various integrated body systems in response to changes in the surrounding for the maintenance of bodily functions is known as control and coordination. That is, movements or changes in position are an important characteristics of living organisms. See here, hand is withdrawn immediately if one touches a hot object. In all cases, movements are performed for providing advantage to the living organisms. Movements are not haphazard or scheduled, they are highly controlled and coordinated. A movement is always appropriate and depends upon the event and environment triggering it. Animal's nervous system. It is a system of nervous organs, nerves, neuron that form a network throughout the body for conducting information via electrical impulses so as to coordinate and control activities of different parts. Now, we have different kinds of receptors. The photoreceptors detect light, form images, they occur inside eyes. There are gustatoreceptors, detect taste, located in taste buds on tongue. Thermoreceptors detect heat and cold. Olfactoreceptors detect smell. Phonoreceptors detect sound. Statoreceptors detect changes in equilibrium. Tangoreceptors, tactile or touch receptors present in skin, pain and pressure receptors located in skin and deeper tissues. Then we have structure of neuron or nerve cell. It is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Neuron or nerve cell is a structural and functional unit of nervous system that is specialized to receive and conduct and transmit impulses. It is very long, sometimes 90 to 100 centimeters. A neuron has three parts: dendrites, cell body and axon. We'll study about dendrites first. They are fine, short and branched protoplasmic processes of the cell body that pick up sensations and transmit the same to the cell body. Dendrites consist nasal granules and neurofibrils. It means tree-like or branched. It receives the signals and forwards it to the cell body. Then we have the cell body. The cell body is called perichiron. Peri means at the periphery. The nucleus is found at the periphery. Periphery means at the center. It has nucleus, nucleolus and nasal bodies or granules. It is broad, rounded, pyriform stellate part of neuron that contains a central nucleus, abundant cytoplasm and various cell organelles except centrioles. They do not have centrioles, means the neuron cannot divide. The number of neurons present at the birth and till the last, that is till the death of the organism, they can only die, they cannot regenerate themselves because they lack centrioles. Then we have axon. It is long fiber-like process that carries impulses away from the cell body. Axon is branched terminally. Axon terminals may end in muscle fibers, glands or other structures. Axon is covered by one or two sheets. The seated axon is called nerve fiber. A number of nerve fibers are joined to form a nerve. The single sheet present over the axon is made of Schwann cells. It is called neurolemma. If a layer of insulating myelin or fat occurs between neurolemma and axon. The two types of nerve fibers are respectively called non-myelinated and myelinated. Myelinated nerve fibers are more efficient in transmission than non-myelinated fibers. Impulse transmission across a synapse. Now, where the junction between the two neurons is known as synapse. During rest, the outer surface of neuron is positively charged while the interior has a negative charge. Stimulus causes opening of ion channels which makes the outer surface negatively charged while the interior becomes positively charged. This creates the impulse which moves forward. The posterior region returns to the condition of rest. At the end of the neuron, the impulse is passed to the next neuron, an organ, muscle, or gland, to form a neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is a chemical secreted by axon terminal for transmission of impulse to the next neuron, muscle, gland, or organ. Acetylcholine, noradrenaline, glutamic acid. Synapse, it is the junction between two neurons where an axon terminal in near contact with dendrite terminal of next neuron. Axon terminal is expanded to form a presynaptic knob. You can see the presynaptic knob in this picture. The dendrite terminal is slightly broadened and depressed to form postsynaptic depression. A narrow fluid-filled space called synaptic cleft occurs between the two. As the impulse reaches the presynaptic knob, it stimulates release of neurotransmitters into the cleft. Neurotransmitter molecules come in contact with membrane of postsynaptic depression, functions as stimulus, and produces an impulse in the dendrite part of the second neuron. We have two types of neurons. Either it could be a sensory or a motor neuron. Now, what is a sensory neuron and what is a motor neuron? A neuron could be sensory or motor, or it could be interneuron or connected neuron. A sensory or efferent neuron picks up sensation from the receptors and transmits the same to other parts like the nervous system. A motor or efferent neuron carries message to the muscle, gland, or organ to perform its function. Motor neuron carries the message. Connector neuron or interneuron is special neuron which passes the message from a sensory neuron to a motor neuron. Like neurons, nerves are also of three types. Now we have neuromuscular junction. It is a junction where a neuron meets a muscle. It is a place of apposition of motor plate of a neuron with the surface of the muscle. Motor end plate consists of a number of knobbed branches. Here you can see a number of knobbed branches. That is the neuromuscular junction. A knob or button is plugged into shallow depression present on the surface of muscle. A narrow space or synaptic cleft occurs between the two. As there is a synaptic cleft where the two neurons meet, similar kind of cleft is made where a neuron meets a muscle. On excitation of the knob of motor end plates passes out acetylcholine which reaches receptors on the surface of muscle. The excitation spreads over the whole muscle. The later contracts. What happens in action, reflex or reflex actions? Reflex action requires a stimulus, a receptor organ, sensory neurons, a part of central nervous system, motor neurons, and effector neuron. The pathway by a stimulus to travel from receptor organ to effector organ is known as reflex arc. Now all the information need not reach the brain, and brain doesn't act for every small solution. So small solutions can be taken up by the CNS itself. Stimulus, that is your hot pan, acts as stimulus. Receptor organs are present on your hand. There are sensory neurons which are sending impulses to the CNS. Then motor neuron, effector organ is your hand, and then the response is your removing your hand. Now this process is not going to your brain. It is reflected from the CNS, from a part of CNS, that is the spinal cord here, and the effect is you're removing your hand from the hot pan. Receptor organ is the tissue which receives the stimulus. Here the skin. Sensory neuron, they conduct the impulses from the receptor. A part of central nervous system, here you have spinal cord. Motor neurons conduct the motor impulse from the CNS to the effector organ. The effector organ is the muscle here. Withdrawal or hand or foot after coming in contact with hot surface, thorn or needle is an example of spinal reflex arc. Okay, this is spinal reflex arc. Sensation of heat or pain is received by receptors present in the skin. It is passed to the sensory neurons reaching dorsal root of the spinal nerve and then the spinal cord. The spinal cord, the impulse is transferred by the motor neuron, by relay neuron or interneuron. Motor neuron come to the ventral root of spinal cord and reach the muscles of the limb which are stimulated. The muscles move the limb away. Now this is example of spinal reflex arc. Now what is the importance of reflex action? Overloading. It checks overloading and overtaxing of brain. Your brain need not respond to all the actions. Survival value, quick response and conditioned reflexes. Now it's quiz time. Name the parts labeled A and B in the neuron. Which part acquires the information in the neuron? Through which part does the information travel? In which form does this information travel? Here we have a diagram where you have to label A, B, C and D. Here are the answers. Thank you. Hope this video was good.